Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Noct and this is Call of Cthulhu. So, let's see. Really intellectual face.
Well, here we are, Hawkins Mansion. The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
I see no scorched trees or fire damage on the building.
You're pretty damn observant, ain't you? The fire was quickly contained. Old Silas acted as soon as he could.
Not soon enough to save the Hawkins.
They were trapped in the drawing room. And don't go troubling Silas anymore. His guilt torments him enough as it is. Are we gonna take a closer look at this mansion, or do you have other questions?
I have other questions.
You won't get me to believe that it looked any better 3 months ago.
It's a very old building, you know? Its foundations would probably date from the arrival of the first settlers.
Huh. It's really that old.
Come on, let's leave the stories of the dead alone. They've nothing to do with your case anyhow. Let's go up there. Unless you still have questions.
I do.
You're the one who looked after the Hawkins case.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
Your partner, Andrews, warned me against him.
You managed to get something out of that bum? I'll end up asking you for advice.
He talks too much. He inferred that old Silas was slightly unhinged.
That's not far off the mark, I suppose. But kinda unfair at the same time. You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember. Charles was like a son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his whole family. So he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, in a way he's still watching over them. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Or do you want to go up there?
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floorboards, there's nothing to worry about.
Could he be a problem?
Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since the tragedy, he's been a little touched. Though, he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his age. A true force of nature.
A sad old man doesn't worry me.
Gee, if you don't want to listen to my advice, we might as well go. Right?
Yeah.
Night falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
I don't trust this. This guy might have something to do with it. Unsure. Okay. I'm gonna accept it. That's because of
Why
Silas.
not? You can help.
Right. Let's go.
No question of leaving now. I must examine the scene of the fire.
Why are we going this way? Okay. Deal with something.
Bradley was right. This place is much older than I imagined, but the architecture seems too recent.
It doesn't really add up. Okay, these are the graves.
Poor kid. Poor kid. Charles Hawkins' grave. Who could have done this?
I told you. Silas Winchester is still watching over the Hawkins family.
I must say, it's pretty gloomy.
So, Detective, does this place inspire any thoughts?
Why were they buried here?
I was given to believe that it was Charles Hawkins' wish.
Strange idea. I imagine Webster wasn't too pleased.
Mrs. Hawkins' father? It's said that he's devastated.
Let's go to the mansion. Charles Hawkins' grave. Charles... The flowers on Sarah Hawkins' grave are fresh.
That's
The
interesting.
caretaker takes great care of these graves. The caretaker...
Where did Bradley go? Where did he go?
I'll have to find another entrance.
Okay. Wanna check the other side? Because I would like to talk to Silas. Maybe he knows something. Maybe they're just calling him on to hide something. I don't trust these cops. A lonely chair? Ah, never mind. Small wooden whale, a figurine of a whale carved from wood. It's the sort of toy the sailors made for their children.
Someone is using the fireplace. I suppose that this is where old Winchester lives.
Everything is suspicious here. The place is pretty. In its own gloomy way.
This entrance is still in use.
Whoa!
You are trying to force the door, you nosy prick!
Easy, sir, all right? Put down the axe.
You know what we do with rubble like you? We gut them! Dump them into the ocean!
You're Mr. Winchester. Lower that axe. Let's talk calmly.
I'll show you how we have it out on Darkwater.
Sarah Hawkins' father sent me here to investigate the death of his daughter.
Webster, huh? I understand how he feels. But me? I want the dead to rest in peace. And that means kicking the ass of gumshoes like you.
Why would you not want me to help understand what happened here?
I've got nothing to hide. Tell me what you're doing here. And no baloney.
The police report describes a domestic accident. But Stephen Webster has several reasons to believe that this may not be the case.
Webster is as stubborn as an old mule. And I did tell him that we should let the dead rest in peace.
He wants to restore the reputation of his daughter. I just need to see where the fire started.
The mansion isn't safe. You would break your neck as sure as you're trying my patience right now.
That's why you barricaded the entrance.
That's right.
And this door?
It's locked. And I make sure it stays that way.
Okay.
The sooner I carry out my investigation, the sooner I wrap up the case and return to Boston. After which, you'll never hear of me again.
I like the sound of that, but I have a better idea. You leave right now, and you never come back.
Silas! Pierce! In God's name, what are you doing?
Officer Bradley, this hood was trying to break into the mansion.
Do something, Bradley, or this story will have a nasty ending.
I vouch for him, Silas. He's working with us. We have reason to believe that someone entered the mansion and stole some paintings.
Impossible. I would have seen it.
Better safe than sorry. Now let us in. I promise to keep an eye on this one.
Okay then. I'll leave the key with you. You could have told me that earlier, Sonny.
Let's see what more I can learn from this mansion.
Okay, Silas was an interesting guy. Quite threatening, a bit crazy. And murderous.
This gate is locked.
Could it be that he did the fire and that's why his guilt won't let him? Maybe he's part of a cult or something, I don't know. The old families. His reactions were just a bit odd. How much he insisted on leaving the dead rest in peace. He's my number one suspect for now. I don't really suspect Cat. He was, I mean, she was way too cooperative. And she seemed to be afraid of something. And when the local mobster is afraid of something, that's a very bad sign.
Urban. Empty, of course.
Why did he hide his window? Oh, there's a hole, that's why. Wait, did it just from interact? No, it didn't. Okay.
I know a thing or two about solitude myself. Rather Spartan. The caretaker has simple tastes. The poor wretch seems to spend the best part of his time isolated from the world.
Okay, I can't go in. What is that on the wall? I guess 2 fishing rods? The same green lantern. Weird. Very weird. Okay, let's go in.
Pierce, shall we... Now that you finish your fun and games with Silas, we can perhaps inspect the mansion.
You're right. Let's go. Let's take a look inside.
I'm with you.
Chapter 3, Hawkins Mansion. Pierce and Officer Bradley explore the gardens of the Hawkins Mansion. The family lies in the graveyard of the property, guarded by Silas Winchester, the old caretaker. Still faithful to his employers, keeps watch on the place, armed with his axe. Pierce and Bradley manage to calm him down and finally get hold of the key to the Hawkins Mansion. They enter the building looking for the scene of the fire. Okay, let's see.
Follow me. I know the place.
I would like to look
Who left
around.
this light on?
Again a green lamp.
The Last Supper of the Hawkins. What does this tell me?
There's nothing here. The normal view.
What kind of meat is this?
Yeah. Looks weird. Looks really weird. Like some kind of fogged up octopus.
This place is for the head of the family, Charles Hawkins.
Yeah, he most likely jumped up from his chair. Oh! Could be an accident so far. If this was knocked over, maybe it would get the burning fire out. That will ignite the flooring. But they wouldn't die from that. Plus they were in the drawing room when they died.
The boy was probably here. Smashed his plate on the floor.
That's why he got mad.
Sarah Hawkins' plate. Why did she leave it untouched?
Yeah, why?
Something happened at this table. An argument?
Hey, Pierce. Daydreaming again?
Working, officer. This dinner table tells us a lot about the Hawkins family life.
Well, we don't have all day. The scene of the fire is next door.
My theory is wrong. At least about that part. I'd like to look
Silas
around
managed
first.
to bring the fire under control, but it was already too late for the Hawkins.
They seem happy. But Charles is already looking off into the future. His marriage just a stop along the way. They seem happy. But was Charles Hawkins some kind of explorer?
Charles Hawkins poses like an explorer in front of exotic ruins. It is common knowledge that he wasted away his fortune on expensive trips. What was he looking for? Yeah, what?
Too much rubble. I'll find an easier way. Let's see if I can find something the cops missed. Let's see if I can find something the cops missed.
Nothing yet. Okay, let's go into the other mode. Investigation mode.
If the painting I found on the docks really came from here, how come it didn't burn?
Yeah, how? Everything is burnt except this area on the wall.
Was Charles Hawkins a heavy drinker? Did someone escape the fire?
Seems like it.
The child's corpse left a trace. Where are the others? Did it stop at the time of the fire?
What time is it? Ah, interesting. At 10, the fire happened.
Did Sarah Hawkins lose one of her shoes? How?
Yeah, you don't just lose that. For no reason.
They had a fight. Why?
Someone escaped.
Blood. This lamp was thrown. This was no accident. This was a fight. Someone fell here. A desperate attempt to flee. And the boy.
So, Detective, what do you make of it?
I firmly believe this fire was more than just an accident.
Huh. What's your theory?
Someone deliberately set fire to this mansion.
You sure of that?
There's only one way to be sure.
Yeah, someone attempted to flee. Which is very interesting piece of evidence. There. 4 out of 5.
I just ask that you don't disturb anything. If Chief West found out about what we're doing, I'd be in serious trouble.
This door is locked.
History of medicine in the 18th century. This collection of medical knowledge and health practices in the 18th century actually only covers the so-called civilized countries. It does not deal with the influence of holistic medicines or medicines from the continents considered inferior.
These bandages are covered in dried blood. The same bandages that I saw in the warehouse on the docks. And given the bloodstains, I'd also say that it's the same person. This door is blocked from the outside. The lyrics of the drunken sailor, a sea shanty. The lyrics of the drunken sailor, a sea shanty.
Don't see anything yet. Wait, what is that? Crowbar. Crowbar found in Hawkins mansion. It probably belongs to the caretaker, Silas.
A crowbar could prove useful.
Why would it be here?
An original edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, dated 1818. Moby Dick, Melville's classic. The epic battle between man and whale.
A copy of the novel Moby Dick by Herman Melville. A classic especially for the family of ship owners.
Mandatory reading for any whaler, I guess. This piano is in disrepair. Looks like the Hawkins kept it more for decoration than for music.
Yeah, it's in really
This
fit
piano
state.
is in disrepair. Looks like the Hawkins kept it more for decoration than for music. This place was falling apart long before the fire.
That's really weird. People are living here. And this is not 3 months of damage. Definitely not. The human body, a comparative analysis. A precise and very detailed treatise on the particularities of the human body compared to the animal world. The simplicity of its writing and the vulgarization of its vocabulary make it accessible to the profane.
What do you know about Charles Hawkins' activities?
Well, not much, to be honest. We all assumed the Hawkins lived on Charles's inheritance. If you're right, We should be able to find clues among the Hawkins' personal effects.
A book on the first inhabitants of the island. It seems they got here around the 14th century.
Yeah.
A book on the first inhabitants of the island. It seems they got here around the 14th century.
Okay, I don't think there's anything else here.
Darkwater history. This place was settled back in 1692 by two families that seceded from the New England colonies. A book on hunting whales, the island's staple diet last century.
What the?
One of Sarah Hawkins' paintings. Her style sure is recognizable.
Why is it placed like
One of
this?
Sarah
Even a school in
Hawkins'
front of it.
paintings. 20,000 leagues under the sea. Another story about the mysteries of the deep.
A rare edition of Jules Verne's novel. Very interesting.
What could Sarah have done to make this person threaten to call the police?
Dear sir, as you know, I have always held you and your family in high respect. Unfortunately, I can no longer continue to close my eyes on the behavior of your wife. Last week, she again terrified my clientele. I know that she means no harm, but you should place her in the care of Dr. Fuller. He alone seems to be able to make her come to her senses. If these disturbances were to recur, believe me that, also it would feel like torture, I would be obliged to involve the police. Respectfully yours, Anton Wellert. Okay, so her behavior was disturbing someone.
Locked. The boys' room. The argument that led to their tragic end seems to have been simmering for some time.
Simon's private journal. He seemed worried about his mother and her attacks. Tension also seems to be growing between the Hawkins couple. Could the fire be the result of an argument? Saturday. Today with mother, we played in the garden, but she's still sad. I hate it when she's sad. Is she angry with father? Sunday. Father scolded me. He shouted loud and wanted to spank me, but mother did not want him to. He is always angry. Why? There are lots of strange things in his office. I just wanted to look at them. Tuesday. I built a castle for mother and me. I told her to come and hide with me. Wednesday. She's always painting monsters. I don't like her monsters. I have bad dreams and they came into my bedroom and look at me. I cry and mother shouts at me. And father says that I must take tablets. They are not nice. I don't want to take them. Tuesday. Again. Mother is screaming again. She cries a lot. Father is sad too and angry with mother. I don't know why. Wednesday. Mother is sad again. At lunch we ate in silence. It was strange. Father said finish your dishes. We always eat the same thing. It looks like rotten fish and it smells very bad. Why does he always want us to eat that? It's not very nice. If you have to eat it again tonight, I will throw my plate on the floor and smash it. Yeah, that happened. There was a smashed plate. And that explains why she didn't eat her food either. Other than the stress and the tension. It's the same rotting fish kind of thing. But anyway, that was all for this episode. Thank you for watching and we'll continue from here in the next one.